the societal narrative that it's provincial towns. So we've not seen one case of this so-called grooming, this new term grooming from London. Who was policing it? Me and a girl. It was me and a girl for a population of 10 million. You know, I don't know how many people live in Burnley, but it ain't 10 million. And, you know, and Great Manchester, and they had a squad of 50 people on this. And they come out with this thing, 3 Girls, that documentary. Well, we found 3 girls in 3 minutes. And I found 52 kids in 3 days. It was crazy, you know. So when we look at how big a problem it is, we need to properly break this down and then realise that there's a whole economy built around it as well. From cradle to grave, these kids make money. You know, they make money for the lawyers, charging £450 an hour. They'll deal with the family court because the baby's been born into an abusive family. So then they put them into care. So then that starts. And the chance of that kid then getting abused is quite large. You know, I'm not saying it's a given. There's some brilliant foster parents and you know, and adopted, you know, but what a lot of people I deal with have come from that demographic. You know, then the kids get angry, you know, the school gets involved, they end up in a juvenile court, and then that machine starts again, £450 an hour. Then they go to the magistrate's court, then the Crown Court, then prison, then the coroner's court.
Well, one of the things that I've always said is, you know, in the work that I do, which is around dialogue, around having the real conversation, you know, that's the important thing, is where can we have the real, because there aren't many places that we can, you know, you're very courageous because what you're trying to do is bring the real conversation out. Let's have the real conversation. Let's not pussyfoot around or politicise or whatever. Let's just have the real conversation. And what I say, in all areas of society, whole industries are built up around not having the real conversation.
Yeah, they are. And then you think the prisons, 8% have come from abusive childhood backgrounds, 80%. Yeah. So in essence, if we stop abusing our kids, we could actually reduce that prison population in a heartbeat by 80%. And you think of suicides, you think of medication, psychotropic medication, domestic violence. All those who commit domestic violence have come from abuse. Heroin addicts.
Absolutely, yes.
Why are they taking an analgesic as strong as heroin? I was in central London today and I watched 2 people, I don't know how old they are, maybe in their 30s. I was on a bridge, I was looking down at a towpath on the canal, and I watched them shoot up heroin. And then they laid in amongst shite on the floor, and they were both gouged out like that. And then they got up after 5 minutes. I sat there with a little roll-up cigarette watching them, and then their day started all over again. And I thought, I know you, I know what's going through.
Yeah.
I know the damage you cause as well because of this lifestyle choice. And they'll be having kids. But when we go and so if we look at the grooming gangs, and we got a Pakistani minicab driver, and he's got a liking for a little white girl. And I want to bring in something about the Mayor of London, which I called him out on. And he goes and tells this girl, oh, you're lovely, you're beautiful. And he's got a car, and she's got low expectations in life. I'm not saying all of them. So I know a couple of girls I happen to, they're not like that. But on the whole, let's stick with the majority. And they get in, and then they go and get your mate. Because a lot of the grooming gangs, it's the girls themselves that end up recruiting.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and it's a fact. Yes. And that's what happens in the care homes. They get the girls to get them.
Yeah.
So say, well, who's doing it? Well, a lot of the girls are doing it themselves. Yeah. It's not it's peer pressure, you know, and they're outside of the remit of criminal responsibility. But we need to say they are, you know, and some do actively do it because, you know, anyway. So bring your mate along. So what's that? It's grooming, ingratiating yourself for the purpose of exploiting them criminally. And they put them in a car and they take them into a kebab shop, curry house, whatever, I don't know, you know, where them and others get them drunk and then they rape them. Well, that's trafficking. And trafficking is a movement of point A to point B for the purpose of crime. Right? Them men should stand trial for rape. And that's that. Life sentence, lifetime sexual offending, you know, and if you could, maybe you'll get out after so many decades inside. But bang, that's it. You ain't going to offend again. Lock them up. That's how it should be doing. and it's achievable. I've done it. Why can't other people do it?